Right, welcome to Twins Fishing Rig Tutorials, part 1. So we're going to be tying the KD rig today. A forever favourite of mine. You can present a lot of baits on it, a snowman. You can present a pop-up on it if you shot it underneath, critically balanced. You can do double bottom baits with it. That's a fantastic rig, and that's an all-round a great one for me, and one I'll always keep in my armoury. So I'll bring you down here, we'll show you where we're starting off to tie it. So we use Dark Matter super heavy tungsten coated hook link in 18 pound. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll strip off a long piece, probably about, what is that, 12-13 inches long, just over length, obviously, because I'm going to be tying knots and stuff in the end and trim it down. And then I'll strip off with my teeth, like that. I'll strip off 4 inches roughly of the coating. First things first is to tie your loop in the end. So we do an overhand loop, simple as make a little loop, get your puller tool, your baiting needle, come through the loop, pull the hair back through, and then I pull mine down. I don't like my hair too big. Depends, I'm using a double hook bait, a single hook. I like to leave that knot sitting in the bait. So when I put if I put a snowman on here, that knot will be sitting in the pop-up. So that'll give that a bit more grip. So we've got our loop there. So we'll snip off the tag in. So what we do to tie the KD is you always go through the back of the eye. So you go through the back of the eye, bring it down, and then judge what hair length you want. So if I'm fishing a double bait, I usually want an 18mm and a 10mm pop-up. I'll usually want, you know, 18mm and a 10mm gap to put on. So I roughly guess what I want, and I leave enough. So I can whip round. So what you do with a KD is you whip round once, twice, pull the hair back, and then you whip round another how many times you want. 1, 2, 3. And if you find yourself running out of the inch strip back enough, you can just peel it back a little bit, like I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do it just about level with the hook. So 5, 6 turns with the point. And then you go. The most important thing about a KD is you go back through the back of the eye. Any hair rig, you go back through the back of the eye, never underneath. Always through the back. So we'll go through the back of the eye. I'll pull that down, and then I'll just pull back a little bit where I was stripped. We'll tighten all up in a minute. Pull back a little bit where I was stripped. I like to pull back a bit from the hook down and leave myself a crinkled up bit of the coating so I can put my putty around it. Gives something to grip my putty on. And we'll give that a turn, give it a good old pull. And now you'll see, look, how aggressive that sits, how aggressive that hangs over. Super aggressive. And then what we do is I measure it on my measuring board. Bear me a second. So we're looking at about 7 inches. So what I'll do is I like it 7 inches. So I'll pinch where 7 inches is. I'll turn it, and then you want to do a figure of 8 knot. So a figure of 8 knot is you make a loop, turn it over back on itself, spin around, and then come through. Then you get 3 loops, and then you get your tool. You pull the first loop through the 2 loops. And that's your figure of 8. There's lots of ways of tying a figure of 8. That's my way. So you'll see there, figure of 8, and then you just pull it tight. A little bit of putt, little bit of spit. Get your puller tool. Oh, you got one at the minute because I broke it. So we'll put the hook on there, that on there. We'll give that a good old pull. Give it a tag in the bite. Give that a good old pull. And there it is. So we'll snip off the tag in. And that's a lovely, if you find that the hair comes round a bit, you can give it a little twist. Come round. That would be perfect. And as you see, that's coming off the back of the eye. When that hangs, look, it's hanging, oh, super sharp that hook. It's hanging right down aggressive. So if you've got a snowman on there, hangs right down aggressive. So that's your KD rig. And then I would put a bit of putty on here just to blob it. I'll show you a little bit now. With dark matter play. You only want a tiny little pinch. Depends what you're fishing. You want to balance it yourself, you can do a bit more. So I roll my putty in my hand, get it nice and warm, and then you just pinch it flat like a dinner plate. Put it over the rippled bit and give it a good old spin. So I spin it like that. Nice and neat. Probably a little bit too much here, could probably take a pinch off, but this is just for viewing purposes. And that's your KD. Hangs down super aggressive, super efficient, perfect little rig.